set my life up, because I got involved in the 40-year plan. Some of you are so young you can't even remember what the 40-year plan was, but basically it ran along the lines of get some education, get a job, work for 40 years, retire with a gold-plated watch, prepare to have a glowing autumn of your life, and try to survive on 2/3 of the money maximum that didn't keep you in the style to which you wanted to become accustomed in the first place while you were working. There was only one problem with the 40-year plan. It didn't work. Because what we know from government bodies at that time was that only 5% of the people would die not broke. 95% would die broke. And my definition of broke at that time is they would have less than £5,000 liquid in the bank, disposable. They got houses, they got cars, they got clothes, but they hadn't got any money. And the world costs money to make it go round. It's interesting, if 95% are going to die broke, it means 5% are not going to die broke. What was even more disturbing was that one of that 5% would inherit. Now I know there's a lot of very lucky children who will benefit from what they're going to inherit from this room. I didn't inherit anything other than nothing. So I didn't come in that category. 3 of the 5 ran their own business. They worked for themselves. And what that meant was, one of the 5% who wouldn't die broke were in a job, being paid what somebody else thought they were worth. And obviously, that person had to make a profit on them, otherwise they would lose their job. Makes sense, doesn't it? What that means is you've got a 1 in 100 chance of not dying broke in the job. Now, I'm not a gambling man, but if there was a horse running a Newmarket tomorrow at 100 to 1, what would bookies call it? A long shot, an outsider, a no-hoper, a punt. And people in jobs consistently take a punt on themselves at 100 to 1 odds and lose. That's the reality. What about now? Almost 20, in August it'll be 25 years since I joined this business. What about now? You'll probably live longer. The life expectancy currently for a male is 83, for a female it's 86. The interesting thing is, if you are, say, a male 63 right now, you've got 20 years life expectancy, but by the time you get to that, it'll be another 5 years. Because we're adding 13 weeks for every calendar year that goes past to life expectancy. I just lost my screen. Can I have it back? Great. You'll work longer. I think it's come as a shock to people. They're going to have to work longer. They're not going to retire at some young age, what is now a young age. They're going to have to work longer because they're going to have to fund it. The other thing is the question of job income potential. You only get paid for when you work. You exchange time for money. And whether you're drilling a hole in a motorway or you're drilling a hole in teeth, if you don't drill, you don't earn. That's the reality. Let's have a look at job income potential. The government, in all their generosity, are raising the minimum wage to £7.50 an hour. Work 8 hours, get 60 quid before stoppages. So in fact, in this country right now, there are 4 million tax-paying adults who are below the poverty level. That's in a job. If you count their kids in, that's 7 million people in this country who are living below the poverty line, attendant with them being employed. City of London, most affluent place in the whole of the UK. Last year's wage rate, average wage rate for people working, was just over £16 an hour. In Wales, where I come from, it's just over £14 an hour. Those are the realities of the world as we know it. So now let's have the new, improved 40-year plan. Let's call it the 50-year plan, because that's the reality at this present time. Let's say you earn £15 an hour, twice the minimum wage. You work for 40 hours a week, you work for 50 weeks a year, they give you 2 weeks off of good behaviour. You work for 50 years. What that means is you have an income earning potential at today's rate of £1.5 million, which wouldn't be bad, would it, if you had it in the bank? And before somebody says, oh yeah, but you get pay rises, anybody ever been in a job and got pay rises? Anybody ever thought, I'm going to be so much better off? And then to your amazement, you find a few weeks down the line, you're no better off than you were before because the cost of living has gone up. Or you've absorbed the increase into your current standard of living. Interesting. 1.5 million. So that's your working lifetime. If you don't do it in those years, you're not going to do it. And it sounds like a long time, but it's a small window of opportunity when you can actually generate income. Unless we're going to go back to Victorian times and have children working. 50-year plan. Unfortunately, from the 1.5 million gross, there are 1 or 2 deductions that we have to allow for. The first one is direct taxation. P-A-Y-E and N-I. Anybody in a job on P-A-Y-E? Do you know what that acronym stands for? Poverty as you earn. We allow 40% amongst those 2 figures. That's 600,000. You got it, and just for a second you believe that 600,000 were yours. And then the government put their hands in your pocket and took it away. You've got to have a home, you've got to have somewhere to live. Typically in the UK, it's 25% of that gross income. And people living in London are going, you can't even buy a lock-up toilet for that. But remember, this is a national average. And before somebody gets really smart and says, oh, the average cost of a home in the UK is 298,000, yeah, but you've got to pay interest on the money because you borrowed it. Abbey National, or whoever it is, are not going to give you that money free, so you've got to allow at least that. Living essentials, heating, lighting, food, transportation, all those irritating things that put their hand in your pocket. That's another 25%. So our total deductions from the 1.5 million is 1.35 million. That's not bad. Still leaves you 150,000, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Because over those 50 years, your net balance is £3,000 per annum. That's what you've got to have a great life on. You know, and it's the things you do, not the things you've got, that dictate the quality of your life. Wouldn't you agree? And the really unsettling fact is that 95% of people at the age of 75 will be dead or dead broke. It hasn't changed. The government tell us that you are technically dead broke if you've got less than £22,000 in cash liquid savings. These are figures from the Government Office for National Statistics and the Probate Office. I didn't invent them. This is the reality. How did 150,000 that margin sink down to £22,000. Where'd it go? Those people made a basic mistake. They went out. Cut diet. If only they'd stayed within the four walls and not done anything, they'd have the 150,000 intact. But they insisted on doing things, because we all do, don't we? So you've got 22,000 saved, we know that. That means you had £128,000 disposable. That's not bad as a lump sum. When you break it down, £2,560 per annum to dictate your quality of life. £213.33 per month. £49.23 per week. Have a great life. And if you're sitting in the room, you say, oh yes, that's for other people. What about £30 an hour? What about £40 an hour? What about £50 an hour? It's the same net result. You see, the government will still have their hand in your pocket. And you know, you have maybe a better house. Instead of a terrace house, you live in a semi, or maybe a detached. Instead of burger and beans, you have steak and a bottle of wine. And you still finish up broke for an increasingly long life. So what about now in the future? Look, I'm not knocking a job. I had jobs. I think they're grossly overrated. But if you're happy in your job, continue. But don't rely on a job to deliver to you a fantastic way of life. They're not designed to do that. They were never set up for that purpose. But if you think about it, how many people do you know in a job who drive fantastic cars? How many people do you know in a job who have fantastic homes? Fantastic holidays. I'm not talking about 2 weeks on a package. How many people do you know? About 1 in 100. That's the reality. So by all means, if you have a job and you're happy, continue. But think about what's going to sustain your standard of living, the things you do, and what's going to sustain you in an increasingly old age. I just had a statement from, interesting, I was a chartered surveyor and I paid in 5% of my income into a pension plan. The people I was working with and for, they paid in 10%. I just had a notification that my last pension will be received in December this year because the pension scheme is going bust. They never assumed people would live this long. How could they? But that's the reality. You know, your future with forever can be secured with forever. It's set up for that purpose. And you know, whether it's a question of just having a bit of extra income to get you through increasingly tough times, that's fine. If you want to become a millionaire, that's fine as well. You know, as well, he said to me, how much have we made over the years? It's about $40 million. She knew I wasn't going to volunteer the next piece of information, how much tax we paid. Because I was foolish enough years ago to say, I'm not worried about earning £1 million, I'm worried about paying £1 million in tax. Wouldn't that be great? Be careful what you wish for. We've actually paid just over £12 million tax. That's a lot of money. I'm saying this really not to impress you. Seriously, I'm saying it to impress upon you. This is the opportunity of your lifetime, and your lifetime is all you've got. Don't waste it. I've looked at this industry, I've been in this industry since 1978. Not in multi-level, but I've been in direct selling since 1978. I started in it because I was so bored being a surveyor. I know every single company on the planet. Trust me, there is not one that comes even close. Would I bet my life and my family's life on another company? Absolutely not. Why would I? I'm already working with the best organisation in the industry worldwide. And frankly, when Jane and I started, it was nice to think about earning 50 or 100,000 a month, but not as a one hit, or not for 6 months or a year. We wanted to be associated with a company which would be around not only for our lifetimes, but for our children's lifetimes. Jane and I spent a lot of time with Rexmoor, a lot of time with Greg Moore, a lot of time with the VPs. This company is here to stay. And we will do whatever we have to do to continue to grow it and to deliver to people the lives that they deserve. Thank you for sharing your time with us.